Hey there folks, it's Scott once again and welcome to another video. And yeah, I know it's been roughly about a month since I last did a video, but you know what? Things have been happening in my life, and before I get into this video is going to be basically kind of like, what I've been up to, and kind of like the sum of the movies that I saw, and in recent movie news and stuff like that. And unfortunately, I should probably get this out of the way. As you know, I'm from Texas, and we recently had we had the shootings in El Paso, and I just want to give my thoughts and prayers throughout the people who have suffered the loss of their loved ones, and this mother that was trying to protect her child, and eventually this father was doing the same, protecting them both, and they think they both died. I guess the child still lived, but anyways, to anyone who's lost their loved ones, I'm very sorry about that. It's very tragic, and no one deserves to have to go through that. So, from the bottom of my heart, I'm real sorry to all the victims out there, and the ones that are still hopefully alive. Hey, just keep fighting. Just find a will to live, and get through the day, and live the rest of your life like you should. I just wanted to throw that out there. But yeah, in other ways, on to me now. I haven't really been doing much because in mid-July I got a call for an interview at this place, being a hydraulic technician, and I never done anything like that, but apparently this person really wanted me, and I decided in the end to take the job, mainly because of the money, and maybe it's a good stepping stone to kind of learn some hydraulics and stuff like that. It involves taking apart cylinders, taking and resealing them and stuff like that. They can be long or they can be small. Probably the smaller they are, the more internal parts they probably have. And I never done anything like this before. And plus, if it does get to be quite busy, and it does require quite a bit of physicalness to it. I'm also going to be having to be learning to drive a forklift, and eventually, if I do get a better job down the road, they may require me to drive a forklift, and I would already have the knowledge of doing this here eventually. And I figured I could take advantage of that. And yeah, so I can apply some of these skills here to what I would apply at a much better job, let's say with the state or something like that. And it feels it would definitely be a big boost to my resume. And I feel like I may be a little anxious, but I feel like this could be very beneficial. And plus, a little bit more money really definitely helps. And someday down the road, I plan on getting my own place and getting the hell out of my parents' house. That definitely would be a huge boost to my morale and my serenity, and it. So yeah. So I'm glad I got that job, and it's semi-monthly. I get paid like twice a month, so it's definitely good. Definitely could be good for me, and I'm very glad that I got this job. I'm going to be starting this week. I'm going to be starting this Thursday, and it's going to be it kind of also would help me if I were to also, like I said before, get a real job like in the time slots. Like people, if they're regular 8 to 5 job, if you're working for the state or working for some kind of privately owned company, it can definitely be a learning experience for me on that, because most of the time when I worked with my dad, sometimes I get up around 8 and be there at 9, or sometimes I have to wait for his call in case something came in for me to work on. So yeah, this normalized schedule that I'll be following could definitely be beneficial and helpful to me someday down the road when I get a even better job. So yeah, this is definitely going to be a stepping stone, and greatly, and just a real big booster to my career and resume. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, as you can tell. But yeah, I'm going to get on to the movies related stuff. I saw several films during the summer. I'll start with the one that I saw first, and then go on from there, and stop at the one that I saw the most recent. And I'll even mention the one that really disappointed me the most out of all of them. But yeah, first I'll start off with the Avengers Endgame. Overall, I liked it. And what I should clarify, I'm going to be doing kind of like mini summaries of what I saw, give a little thoughts on what I liked and didn't like. So I figured I'd put this on the one video. And if I do, find time, I'll give my more in-depth review of it when I, rewatch it again just to get a more fresher perspective on it. But yeah, back on the subject. I'm gonna be. I saw Avengers Endgame and I liked it, but it definitely had its flaws. I don't like how Professor Hulk was used. He didn't really do much except I know he like. I think he punched at Thanos when they first tracked him down, or I can't remember. No, it was Thor that cut off his hand or something. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've seen it. But I don't like what they did with Thor. I mean, and Thor as well. I don't like what they did with the Hulk. They didn't really use. He didn't really do much except for snapping the Infinity Gauntlet that he created. And that's pretty much it. And then Thor being reduced to a fucking joke, fucking fat Thor joke, which Chris Hemsworth did fine, but he deserved better than that. I didn't. He deserved better, to me. He didn't really do much except want more beer, dress like a hobo, or cry when he wanted his hammer. And he did, have the one, fight scene with Thanos, even though he almost got killed when Thanos tried to use his weapons against him. But anyways, but it did have some cool moments, like whenever Captain America actually used Thor's hammer and started owning Thanos with it. And then you had some nice moments of levity. The action sequences were pretty decent, and the ending really got you in the feels. This was definitely Robert Downey Jr.'s finest hour, and I think he did a good job with the material. So yeah, I overall enjoyed it despite its problems. And then I'll get to there was two movies that came out that month, but I didn't see them until like a month or two later, mainly because I just never got around to it. But I would see them at my local discount theater, which was Lake Creek for all you Austinites. But yes, I saw. I take it back. I did see Shazam actually. I saw Shazam and the Curse of La Lorda, or whatever it's called. I saw that one first. I actually saw them both at the same theater, but I wanted to see the horror film first, then see the positive film at the end. And I enjoyed them both. I thought they were decent flicks for what they are. I thought the Curse, had some interesting, tense moments. Just maybe a little slow pace, but I thought the acting was decent, and it has a nice creepy factor in there. And then of course Shazam was definitely lighthearted. It was great. It was entertaining. Zachary Levi, did a pretty solid job in the film. It definitely has some fun sequences. The villain was definitely there, and I don't know what that actor was, but he did a solid job. But yeah, I thought he was great in the film. I thought it was cool whenever the other kids, the foster kids that were helping the teenager whenever he was in his teenage form, then of course when he was in the adult form. I like how they eventually became, superpowered adults as well, so that was cool. Oh, and it had some nice action sequences too, so yeah, I liked it. Just a little thirsty. But yeah, Shazam I liked. And then I was going to say, I saw the new Godzilla film like a couple weeks ago technically, and I enjoyed that. I definitely thought the human characters were a little better. And I mean, Cranston was probably good in the first one, but I never technically saw the first one. But I do know that in the 40 minutes he died, and pretty much it went downhill from there. Aaron Taylor Johnson's character wasn't much. Elizabeth Olsen's character was in there, but didn't really do much. And then Godzilla didn't really do much. And when it teased this huge action sequence, the doors would just close, and you would see the aftermath of it. And that's not what we came here to see. We came here to see Godzilla kick some fucking ass. And he hardly did that. He got owned for that first film. And I think something similar happened in this sequel, but at least he got back up, and the human characters actually did something. I mean, especially Kim Wanabe's character did something and helped and managed to get Godzilla in the more when the radiation greatly enhanced his power and his fire breath and whatnot. Yeah, it was definitely badass. So yeah, there was some good sequences. And then the best film that I saw this summer definitely was John Wick Parabellum, John Wick 3, if you want to call it that. Keanu Reeves was great in the film, had some great intense action scenes, fight scenes, jiu-jitsu tricks, the knife scene, and the bullet, and this whenever you see John Wick trying to escape and you escape on a horse, or and the sword fight sequences on the motorcycle, and then the bit with the action against the people that were tracking him down. It was great fun. I loved it. Saw it 3 times at least. Love to see it again. That's how much of a fan that I am of that franchise. And Keanu, it's definitely earned a great. It definitely earned a lot of money. It's already earned like I think 170 million. I have to kind of look. And I got to be careful not to click on this because it would automatically stop this, and that's what I hated. This is really like the 3rd time I'm attempting to record this, so yeah. Just bear with me, folks, here. Let me look this over. I think this is June that I'm on, yeah. Oh, yeah. I saw the most underwhelming film, and that's Dark Phoenix, and that's no brainer there. Part of me hoped there would be some good things, and it definitely has its fair share of some decent moments. Mainly, McAvoy and Fassbender, they're definitely one of the bright spots in that film. Turner tries, but the script is strictly by the numbers, and it doesn't really take full advantage of the character. Just overall, the whole film just is very underwhelming. It's like a very highly budgeted Lifetime drama, and the best action sequence was really towards the end to me, and that was really a reshoot sequence. From what I understood, it was supposed to take place maybe in Washington or somewhere else. I can't remember. This film underwent, hefty reshoots and whatnot. And Kinberg, honestly, maybe you should just stick to doing producing, not writing or directing. That's what you're good for. Because this is the 2nd time you decided to tackle the Phoenix, and you didn't do a very good job of that either. The Phoenix overall was not used to her full advantage, except for maybe towards the end, where she starts to eradicate people. And the new villain honestly didn't do it for me. I know Jessica Chastain's a good actress, but honestly Oscar Isaac was far better as a villain in this, even though he was kind of underwhelming, but at least he had moments where he was a fucking threat. I felt none of that with Jessica Chastain's character. She was bland, nothing to her, boring. Just someone who was like occasionally, would be someone on trying to influence, in their own mind, or just, according to what Kinberg said, she was like the devil on Jean's shoulder, pretty much. Just more like a character that can just pop up and tell her, yeah, you have so much potential, you gotta do this, blah, blah, blah. That's all she was there, and of course she's revealed to want to take the power. The alien race didn't impress me. It's like they took second-rate versions of the Arrival design and the group design and decided to combine them into both, and it didn't really impress me. So yeah, there you go. Very disappointing, very underwhelming. Didn't care for it. And that's coming from the biggest X-Men fan that you know of. That's probably, if I had a top 5, this would definitely be in there, at least for now. But then I did see the Child's Play remake, and I actually enjoyed it, Not everyone's going to enjoy it, but I thought this was definitely a lot better than Don Mancini's recent efforts. I'm not the only one. Matt, Rambo Ralph for Life, has said this. He definitely enjoyed the remake, or I'll just call him Matt, That way you know who he is. I'll just refer to him as Matt. Matt, definitely liked the film. And Mark Hamill honestly seemed to be having fun with this movie, unlike what he was doing with the Last Jedi and the Star Wars sequels. He was probably only doing that for the paycheck, obviously. But this one, he was definitely having fun with, and he brought it. He's not Brad Dourif, but he's pretty good. If they were going to do another one, I would gladly watch it with him in there. He was definitely having fun. He probably would love to do another one, especially compared to what Hamill was treated with in the Star Wars sequels. He probably had more fun as Chucky than as Jake Skywalker in The Last Jerk-Off, or The Force Awakens, or probably The Rise of Skywalker. But going back, but honestly, I wanted to say something on John Wick 3 or Parabellum. Unfortunately, here's the big problem that prevents me from wanting to see a 4th John Wick. Is apparently Chad Stahelski, the director of the previous 2 sequels, believes that John Wick should not have a happy ending. I call bullshit on that. He deserves a fucking happy ending. Hell, even Keanu Reeves is kind of vouching for John Wick to have a great ending, a good ending. Not some downbeat Debbie Downer that, would piss the audience off and not want to watch any more of those films. Or try to kill it off in favor of a new character that we don't give a flying fuck about. Don't give him a fuck. If you're going to kill him, at least kill him off heroically, alright? Don't give him a fucking stupid-ass death like Shyamalan did with David Dunn and Glass. By drowning him into a fucking pothole filled with water. Don't fucking do that shit, or have some, henchman that was weak and somehow he accidentally kills John Wick, or some stupid ass humor like it was shown in The Predator. Give John Wick a fucking, great ending, and have him right off to the sunset, retired and just chilling. Kind of like what Matt said, he even made this up. He basically said, have John Wick fake his death, and in the end, it's revealed he's in some kind of cabin, just sitting there, relaxing, probably has a pet. Something like Matt said, even if it's not a perfect ending, it's probably better than killing him off. So, there you go. Give John Wick a fucking great ending. That's the other bit of movie news that I was talking about. So, yeah. Okay, now back on this subject. I was talking about Child's Play, the remake, I like that. I honestly don't think I saw too many films this summer like I may have wanted, but finances. I definitely didn't see Men in Black International. That I'm glad that's flopping. Shaft, Samuel L. Jackson, but they tried to turn it into a comedy. It didn't work. Anna looked interesting, but I haven't gotten around to seeing it. Probably they may have yanked it out pretty fast. It didn't do that great. Last I checked, it barely made $7 million at the box office. So, come on, let's go back. Let's go into July. I did see Spider-Man: Far From Home, and I thought it was a decent flick. I mean, there's some. I thought the humor at times was a little over the top, but I think it had generally great moments. I think Tom Holland has really grown in the role. But the one person that also did really great was Jake Gyllenhaal. I think he did fine as Mysterio, and I was definitely not expecting. I don't want to spoil it, but I was definitely not expecting the direction it was going to go into. That's why they call him the Magician. If for spoilers for some people who have seen it, but I thought it was decent. I don't know if it's the greatest film, but I thought it was a good film. I definitely would choose it after Captain Bourville, which I still have yet to see, and I will not see that film. So, fuck you, Brie Larson. And oh yeah, there was something else I saw recently. I think not the most, but I did see Godzilla King of the Monsters. I eventually did. I remember At Dawn was recommending that. And I finally got around to seeing it. I saw it at the same place where I saw the discount movie theaters at Lake Creek 7. I definitely enjoyed it. Did I talk about Godzilla now? I can't remember. Shit. If I did talk about it, I thought it was good. I thought it was an improvement, so. Gosh, I felt like I saw another film recently at that theater, but anyways, the most recent film that I did see, I have right here. It's called Crawl, and I thought it was a decent flick. It was, it definitely had just the focus on two main characters. The daughter, forget what the actress' name is. I think she was in those the Maze Runner movies and the sequels. But I did recognize the father, Barry Piper, who was pretty decent as the father. And yeah, I could tell it was CGI, but there were times where it looked practical. The crocodiles looked decent, and I liked the fact that this was going on during the midst of a hurricane. The hurricane was kind of becoming a character, It was growing into a, category 1 or 2 or 3 or something. I had to look that up. But yeah, it's interesting how the hurricane became a character as well, because it's a horror disaster type film, and I thought it did pretty well. And overall, I thought the film was pretty decent. And like I said, I have the ticket here that shows that I watched it. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I kind of have a bit of a headache, but it's okay. But yeah, I saw Crawl, and it was decent. I didn't see like the new Disney movies because honestly, I don't want to give them my fucking money. Like Aladdin or The Lion King. Even though, the Lion King looks like it has some nice locations, but that's pretty much it. I will admit, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood looks pretty good, so. I mean, it's Quentin Tarantino, so it's got to be at least a fairly decent flick. I'm trying to think if there was something else I missed. Like I said, I didn't see too many movies because of finances, and I was trying to take a step back. And I did buy some new Blu-rays. Hold on a second. I'll be right back. I'll just show them off in this video. Did a little rearranging here, as you can tell. figured I'd go ahead and grab them since there was like maybe one copy left. So recently I went to Big Lots and got a few Blu-rays. One of them, I know that maybe people are not a fan of this, and I didn't exactly hate it, but I thought it wasn't that great of a flick. And that's X-Men Origins Wolverine. I mainly got it for Hugh Jackman because he was probably definitely one of the better parts about this film. You know, it's got some cool action sequences, and it's definitely a little bit more action-oriented than the Wolverine, the sequel that followed after this. But yeah, it's got some good features on there. And $5, that's pretty good. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this cheaper. I kind of wish I would have gone in July and bought that, because I would have gone on a week where it's 20% off on this particular weekend. And I would have gotten $1 off, but I'm fine with it. I didn't have to pay too much for it, so yeah. And the other film is actually Deep Impact. I've been curious about this. I have seen this film. I thought it was decent. You have a pretty solid cast. You have Robert Duvall, Téa Leoni, Morgan Freeman. You also have, if you can tell here, this is Elijah Wood. I remember him being pretty solid in the flick. You also had up-and-coming Lily Sobieski, who would go on to be in some films I've seen her in, like Joyride, Here on Earth, and unfortunately in that very bad Nicolas Cage film, Wicker Man. But yeah, I'm very glad to have this. Got this cheap, and I figured I'd bring this up for discussion. I went last Friday, actually. I could swear I got another Blu-ray recently. Oh yeah, I've watched it, and I think it's a pretty underrated flick here. And that is, oh, you may have seen it, but it's The Puppet Masters with Donald Sutherland. Watching this, it looks pretty good on Blu-ray. It has been on Blu-ray before, but it was like on a Mill Creek double feature with, believe it or not, Deep Rising, which I do have. And that's also a Kino Lorber release like this one is. And it's got some good features. I guess they're really big fans of this. And also you have a couple other notable actors, though I don't know which one. I don't know where they are, especially Eric Thal. He's not interviewed on this, but Julie Warner is. You also have Yaphet Kotto, but he's not interviewed. You also have, what's his face, Richard Belzer. You also have, oh yeah, I forgot to mention this, Keith David. And it's strange they don't even credit him in there. That's very odd. But yeah, Keith David's in this flick. I always thought he was a pretty solid supporting character actor, like in The Thing, for example. But yeah, and I think I mentioned him, Richard Belzer. He's apparently a comedian. I didn't even know that, but because I've seen him on mainly like Law and Order episodes. That's where I probably best known him for. He's also appeared in some other stuff I can't think of, but this is of course one of them. Underrated little horror thriller here, and it's apparently based on a novel by what's that author's name? Robert A. Heinlein, I guess is his name. But yeah. Man, this doesn't want to go in there. I guess I have to. There we go. Yeah, I figured I'd combine several things into once. Then actually I'm going to be doing another video kind of relating to sports related stuff. I follow a particular team, but you'll know that more in the video. But let me go ahead and make sure that I didn't miss any movies. Sorry, that's Google Chrome. Let's go back. I mentioned Spider-Man, Far From Home. That was decent. I like that. Excuse me. I guess I avoided certain movies, and that's why I don't remember, because I didn't see a whole lot of them. The only ones I saw, like I said repeatedly, were John Wick, Parabellum, and Alita. I know Alita is out sometime, but maybe I'll wait till the price drops a bit. Certain Blu-rays I might wait in general to drop, during Black Friday, because they'll be cheap, and I'll admit it, I'm a tight ass. Sometimes being a tight ass really helps in the long run. And that's mainly because I probably want to start saving up and moving out of this place and having my own place. Whether it's a very good apartment, one bedroom, which I'm totally fine with, I'll be fine with that. It doesn't have to be a house. It just shows that I can be on my own, be independent like I've been wanting to for the past 10 years or so. So yeah, I guess I covered all that stuff. I didn't see a whole lot of movies, but most of the time I enjoyed them. But yeah. Alrighty, folks, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you like it, give it a thumbs up, and if you're just new seeing this video, give my channel a sub, and hopefully you'll like what you see, and maybe this will be this will be a boost and an encouraging sign that I can, get back into the swing of things and start making more videos. So yeah. But anywho, folks, I will see you in another video, okay? Later, and bye-bye.